Alright, it's Julie, and this is going to be my video, excuse me, my video on my fears of pregnancy. Okay, so, me and my husband were trying to conceive for over a year before we finally got pregnant, and, it's not that I didn't think about the things that can go wrong and all that kind of stuff, but like now that I actually am pregnant, it's just on my mind a lot more, because the fact is I am pregnant now. It's not just a fantasy about being pregnant and just having that dream. It's like, it's real, like things can happen, things can go wrong. I could have a miscarriage, just all these things. And it kind of freaks me out. Because I know people who have had like high-risk pregnancies, and they've had things happen, like preeclampsia, and their child has been diagnosed with a developmental problem, and it's scary. And so I'm scared of say like having an ultrasound and finding out that my child has spina bifida or cerebral palsy or just like something like that. Like, I will love my child no matter what happens, whether they have any delays or any disabilities or anything like that. I will love my child. There is no doubt about that. But it's still something that I fear. Because of course I think as a mother, you want your child to be the best that it can be. You want your child to have the fullest life. You want your child to have the possibility of being president or, something like that. And yeah. So I get nervous about things like that. I will love my child no matter what. I have an uncle that has Down syndrome, and he's the best. He's great. I have a cousin who is on the autism spectrum. My father-in-law has Asperger's, and so that's a real possibility. I know some people say genetics has a factor in autism and stuff like that, and then some people say that it doesn't. So, it really just depends on how you feel about it. So I'm nervous about that. As far as my fears about being pregnant go, I fear that I'm going to get preeclampsia or toxemia or something like that. I'm afraid about getting gestational diabetes and it not going away. Like, if I get gestational diabetes, I know it can be managed, and I know that it'll probably go away, but not in all cases, And, being a medical professional, I do know about a lot of these things. I'm not an expert or anything, but, I do know that these possibilities are there, and so it's scary. I worry about my chest size not going down after pregnancy and after nursing and all that stuff. I fear that my chest size right now, I'm not trying to be gross or whatever, is anywhere from a 34G to a 36G. Sometimes I can fit into a double F. Just depends. I'm a very large chested person, and I wanted to have a breast reduction for a long time, except for it's kind of stupid to have one before you have kids because of the fact that they do get bigger. So, I'm talking kind of loud and I have my screen door open. I hope no one hears. But anyway, I'm afraid of that because it's already hard enough for me to find bras that fit, and the back pain that comes along with having a large chest. And I'm not scared about stretch marks. I already have some. That doesn't worry me. Weight gain, I'm not really afraid of it. I know that's going to happen. I am not a stick thin person. I used to be a lot thinner than what I am now. I don't aspire to be a 00 or anything like that. I think that's kind of almost sickly looking. But anyway, I'm nervous that I won't lose the baby weight and I'll just be a whale forever, but I don't know. I don't want my feet to get any bigger because then I will have to get rid of all my shoes, but that's not a huge deal. I'm worried about my hair falling out. I've had alopecia areata. I've had it appear twice in my life. When I was 16, I lost about a $50 size amount of hair on the back of my head, kind of towards my neck. And that is scary as a 16-year-old girl. And I had about a nickel size loss of hair when I was 18, and it was the first time I moved out of my parents' house on my own. I had it like right up here somewhere, I don't know. Of course it's all back now, but I have noticed, especially since I've been pregnant, which I think is weird because I think normally it's supposed to be the opposite, but I have noticed that my hair sheds a lot more than it has normally. I've been pulling a lot of hair out of the bathtub. Well, you know, it has the little screen, so I'm not digging in there because that's disgusting. But there's been a lot more hair in there than normal, and my hairbrush, and so that freaks me out that I might have a spot going on and I don't notice it. But pretty much every day, just out of fear that I'm gonna lose a huge chunk of hair, I sit there and I go through my hair. I don't know, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm just pretty much afraid of, you know, baby being born early or being stuck in the NICU. One of my really good friends, her son was born over a month early, and he was in the NICU for the entire month. I mean, he's doing great now, but I was so scared for her. I mean, he was on a ventilator, and he had a little feeding tube, and he had needles in his forehead, and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's scary. I mean, I'm sure, well, I think some of my fears will go away the farther along in pregnancy I get, and some of the fears might get to be a little bit stronger, especially when it gets closer to the ultrasound where they look for any anomalies. And I'm thinking about having the quad screen done, which is done like around 15 to 22 weeks, I think my doctor said, where it tests for the possibility of Down syndrome and things like that. Like she said, it's not a definite yes or no type of test. It's more like a risk factor thing. But since I do have it in my family, I would like to know if it would be a possibility. My husband wouldn't want to know because he wouldn't want me to stress out even more than possible. But if something were to be wrong, I would want to know before the baby would be born or whatever, so I can do what I need to do to prepare and to make our situation better. So anyway, so I guess that's my video on my fears at this point. Oh yeah, and another fear is not being able to make it financially. I know things will get better for us once I find a job, but then again, there will be a lot more expensive with 3 people than with 2. But yeah, I mean, it's just a part of life, and I know that we will get through. I know that we will, but it's just scary. But I'm sure everything is going to be fine. But I just want to be open and honest and real, and find out if you guys have any of the same fears, you know, or anything like that, or am I just being completely irrational? I don't know, but that's it, and I will see you again soon.